All our customers, even in semiconductors, in front-end semiconductors, in 5Gs, in life science, everyone is booming. Everyone is doing so well. And right now, when we talk about pandemic, right, everything is shortage. Even just now when we walk through the facilities, I'm telling you that there's a shortage of even wooden crates. Not just impacting my industries, but impacting all the industries. Imagine right now you place an order for a laptop or computer, the lead time is about 2 to 3 months.
When Malaysia imposed its first lockdown last March, its semiconductor industry had its operating capacity cut to less than a third of what it used to be. But in the ensuing recession, these chip-making companies eventually became a bright spark for Malaysia's economy as global demand surged. The pandemic fueled hunger for consumer electronics as well as vehicles, which are in modern times filled with digital technology as much as mechanical. In the new normal of physical distancing, Malaysian chip makers, supplying 7% of global semiconductor production and double that for back-end or finished chips, saw their order books overflow.
In our business, you're talking about a few quarters of qualifying equipment, qualifying space, getting your customer, which is the design houses, to qualify you, and then getting your in customers to come, their in customers to come and qualify you. So the process is slightly different. So we couldn't ramp up the industry. No, our customers are also telling us, hey, please work as hard, please. The moment you come back from Christmas. I don't think you can take a break. And Chinese New Year, there is no such thing as one big golden holiday. There is only a one-day holiday for you guys.
The semiconductor industry accounts for 40% of Malaysia's exports. Yet, manufacturers are having a hard time fulfilling a growing backlog of orders due to disruptions in supply chains and reduced operations over fears of new infection clusters.
Definitely, the pandemic has caused a major disruption to the supply chain. But then it is compounded by problems in Taiwan, where the fabs are affected by drought, and then in Austin by the weather, and then in Japan by outage, and then we also have the Suez Canal blockage, all disrupted all this, so compounded the issue. On top of that, recently Germany also have an outage in some of their fabs, and then recently China announced a location of power. So all that has disrupted the supply chain. So Malaysia, we are impacting the supply chain because we are not running the factory in full.
Estimates of global backlogs in the industry range from a few months to a few years. This creates opportunities for expansion by Malaysian firms whose end customers include the likes of Apple, Samsung, and Volkswagen. 17 of the Malaysia Semiconductor Industry Association's members plan to roll out 4 billion ringgit, or about 1.3 billion Singapore dollars of investment in the next 2 years. But given the many disruptions in the past 3 years, they're proceeding cautiously.
I'm bullish about it, and I think Penang is in a sweet spot as far as this disruption is concerned. Because as far as electronic, we go back to the fundamental is that it has always been a cyclical sort of industry, right? Up and down, up and down. Once the demand has been satisfied, then whether there is going to be another next phase of demand to take up the slack of increased supply, that is going to be unknown quantity.
Penang is the main hub of Malaysia's electronics manufacturing, accounting for about 2/3 of production. While having a multitude of firms across the value chain in one location enhances efficiency, it creates a labor shortage. The Semiconductor Association's survey of about half of its 165 members found they needed nearly 16,000 workers by the end of the year, and another 23,000 in 2022. Firms like UWC have taken to expanding outside of Penang in order to tap into other pools of talent.
We are acquiring 12 acres land nearby over here, and we are expanding our capacity at Taiping, which is about 60 kilometers over here. That's our strategy in fulfilling the demand and also the backlog. We can see some spillover effect, including ourselves. We ran one of the factories in Taiping as one of the strategies to get more talent. Malaysian being Malaysian, we are always at our own comfort zone. We don't feel like staying far away from house. So that's the biggest challenge. With our experience in Perak, of neighboring states, right, there's certain gap over there. So what we did was we worked with the institution. We even sent our experts over here just to conduct trainings to close the gap. With that kind of actions, I believe that Perak, Kedah, the neighboring states should be able to capitalize on the spillover effect as a result of the foreign direct investment and also the local investment here in Penang.
Such developments have spurred talk of the so-called Silicon Valley of the East, expanding from just Penang into neighboring Kedah and Perak, taking advantage of cheaper land while keeping logistics costs low.
I always believe that we can prosper together. No point for us to fight and then at the end of the day, we lose the investment. So if, let's say, the investor feel that Penang is a good place, they come in. If they are, let's say, a Kedah company or Perak company, they can be part of the supply chain as well. So if, let's say, some of this investment, they decide to go to Kedah, we wish them well. Because when they go to Kedah, then they want to tap on the supply chain, they want to tap on the Penang supply chain. It's beneficial to us.